Welcome, everybody, to episode 1. Now, you might be asking, why is this episode 1? I thought last week was episode 1. Well, the way it kind of works, and this is just something that D&D players do, is usually when the characters meet for the first time, that's what you would call episode 0. It's where the characters like come together and like meet for the first time and get their quest hook. You'd call that episode 0. Session 0 is kind of like it's like a D&D thing. So this is officially like episode 1 where they're getting into the story and kind of figuring things out. Yeah, that's the whole thing with session 0. So if you're curious why this is episode 1 and not episode 2, it's because last episode where the characters meet, we consider that episode 0. So, with that, this is our first episode where the party is going to have their first combat, really get to know each other a little bit, and kind of really figure out what's going on with the story. So they're going to really get going here. Should be pretty exciting. So welcome to the show. This is Blood of the Immortals, which is my Greek mythology-inspired D&D campaign, and it is a completely homebrewed campaign, which means that if you are a rule snob of D&D, feel free to not say anything, okay? I don't need the rule snobbery because this is all homebrewed, okay? So it's all from my own head. A lot of the creatures and rules and things will be made up, and we're gonna go by the rule of cool for a lot of stuff. The only things that are really like by the book are the way the characters are built, okay? So that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna be giving them all kinds of crazy abilities and magical items that I've just come up with out of the top of my head. So it's all gonna be from my own head, so please don't flex your D&D knowledge on me, okay? I know you're super smart and know everything about D&D. Yeah, I'm talking to you out there in the chat, okay? Don't need to hear it. Just enjoy the show, all right? Yeah, I'm talking to you, MetaFamous. He's one of my mods who plays a lot of D&D. Fucking snob, man. All right, so with that said, let us get rolling. Welcome to everyone in Casey's stream and Trisha's stream and everybody else as well. Thank you to the Raiders from Miss Jinx's stream, and I hope you guys are all excited. Let's do introductions. So starting off just on my screen, we're going to go from bottom to top this time. So we'll start with Mr. Colin Smoke, and we'll move to Jinx, and then so on and so forth up my overlay, and we'll just want you to give me an introduction of who you are and what you do on Twitch, and just the basics of your character, race, class. That's really all you got to do.
Yeah, so hi everybody, my name is Colin Smoke. I'm another white, brown-haired Minecraft boy, but I think I'm a little more than that. My streams are a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of challenges and crazy stuff over there, so I have a very big charity focus and I'd love to meet you. That said, my character's name is Leon something or other is what I'm calling him for now. Last name's a placeholder. Kind of a big softy Minotaur type. So former pirate, now has a peg leg after a conversation with Susu. I think it's a great idea. And that's where we're at. I'm looking forward to see what the features got with this campaign.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Colin. Jinx, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Quick rundown of your character as well.
Hi everybody, my name is Jinx. I stream on Twitch. I do TikTok, and yeah, I cosplay. I'm like an e-girl extraordinaire. You know how it be. Anyways, my character's name is Shisa. She's a Yuan-Ti bard. She's half snake, half human, and she's from a royal family. And yeah, she's really nice and loves people and loves meeting new people and having new experiences.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Jinx. Trisha, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Trisha Zaberti, also known as Tyria. I am a high moon elf sorcerer. I lost my family to a group of raiding dwarves, so I have a little bit of hatred towards Pigrid and other dwarves, and I'm trying to find my family, see if anyone's still alive. I'm definitely, my royal self has been raised quite sheltered, as well as with a little bit of arrogance, and I definitely look down upon a few people, perhaps everyone. It might change, it might not. Might get worse, right, Pigrid? And I'm generally a cooking streamer. I'm a chef, and that's what I do.
All right, thank you so much. And Casey, go for it.
Hi, my name is Agrid Stone God. I'm a dwarf paladin. I just left my hometown because I had a vision in a dream, and I abandoned my parents. They didn't want me to leave, but here I am.
All right. And the church wasn't very happy about you leaving either, which we can kind of recap about last time as well. So
It's
I'll do
been
that.
really hard.
It definitely has been. All right. Moonsy, go for it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Minzy Cat. I'm a Twitch streamer and cosplayer. Yeah. Uh, my character is Crocus Summerhide. She's a purple furbolg, and she's just chilling. She doesn't really know anything about her past, so yeah.
So she's learning kind of at her own pace as well.
Mm-hmm.
Susu, go for it.
Hi, I'm Susu. I am a variety streamer. I like to stream weird videos. Sometimes I cut stuff with knives, and I play horror games sometimes. My character's name is Neffy Silversilk. She's a spider person, and she seems kind of like cool and badass when she's quiet, but the reality is she's always scared and nervous and very shy. So I'm excited to have that come across with her first words. I wonder how the party will react.
All right. And Rossi, last one. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Rossi. I'm a variety streamer as well, kind of focusing on just chatting just now. My character's name is Fergus. I'm a kobold rogue, and I'm just quite cheeky, as is the nature of the majority of Scottish people.
Yes, you are quite cheeky. Your character definitely is. And we'll do a quick recap of last time, so I'll try and make this real short. So last time, the players started off by all of their characters had a dream, and in this dream they were visited by a character named Romulus. He is known as the historian of the gods. He's been alive for hundreds of years and knows a lot about the situation of the world and all of the problems within it. And he is calling upon this group of people, claiming that all of these players, all of their characters are demigods. He claims that they are children of the gods. And so they are now coming to a city called Thebes, and they are going to meet this person named Romulus. He said to meet him there in the city. When they arrived at the city, after they had left their families and their homes behind, they arrived in the city. They were missing one of their party. Fergus, the kobold who they had met in the dream, they all met each other in that dream. They all kind of saw each other. They looked around for him and they couldn't find him. So they traveled outside the town into the forest just outside Thebes and found Rossi's character, Fergus, hurt. Just slightly bleeding, having been bitten by something, which only he has seen. Up until the very end of the session where we kind of had our cliffhanger, he was kind of scared and running around the forest looking for his friend. Finally found his friend, who is named Dom. So Dom is another kobold that's with him. And so we got Fergus and Dom, who are scared and backed into a corner in this opening in the forest, and the party has just arrived. And that party is the rest of the players, led by Susu's character, silent, stoic, basically finding her way through the forest and found her way to Fergus. And they're going to try and figure out what was happening. And as they had that conversation, they realized they were getting surrounded by these creatures. These creatures look like wolves, but these wolves have flaming chests. Inside, you can see embers glowing inside their chest, and on their backs, covered in like molten lava rocks. These wolves are made of flame and magma, and they are walking out of the forest. Each step that they take lights a patch of grass on fire as they walk forward. And the first one that comes out of the forest begins to breathe in and let out a huge wave of flame across the battlefield. And that's where we left off, as the party was being surrounded by these mysterious creatures. Couple things of note. Just a few things. First thing is that Moonsy, when she said goodbye to her dad, they had like a really interesting conversation where dad was kind of hiding from her that maybe it's true that she might be special in some way, but he didn't really give her all the information she was looking for, so she left to find that information on her own. Egrid, which is Casey's character, Egrid left the church, and the church was not happy that she believed that there could be other gods out there. They are the church of the one God, and they are very unhappy that she believes that there could be any other kind of God. And lastly, I think the big things, Colin's character, Leon, left behind a sort of higher tech pirate organization that he seemed very disenfranchised with, no longer wanted to be there, was just ready to go. And so when he had this dream, he dipped immediately. He was excited to just get out of there. So there is a bit of tension there, and he did kind of cause a spat with the captain as well, where he kind of threatened the captain. The captain backed down because Colin's character's big and scary, but the captain definitely seemed like he wasn't happy with the situation. So with that, those are kind of the big plot points to keep in mind. Other than that, everyone else is kind of just meeting up for the first time. You guys can think about what your characters' backstories are more like. Jinx had a little bit of a conversation with her previous, employer. She worked at a bar, and that was kind of a cute little interaction there. But for the most part, everyone's just kind of getting to know each other here, and you guys are surrounded by deadly wolves. So that is the exciting part. You guys don't know what each other can do, and you're about to find out. With that, any questions from anybody about last session or upcoming session? Okay. On the battlefield, I'm going to write the steps that you can take in combat. I want everyone in the audience to just be patient because this is our first combat together. So we practiced this as players. Colin was the only one who wasn't here, I think, during the practice session, if I remember correctly. So everyone's been through at least somewhat of combat before. As players, you kind of know-ish what your characters can do. But I just want to make sure everyone's patient because that stuff, I don't expect you to remember everything. It'll come back to you and it'll get easier as we go. So it should be pretty fun. This is not going to be a huge combat, but we'll see what happens because if you fuck it up, you could die. All right. So here we go. Welcome to Blood of the Immortals, episode 1. Here's the intro.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Many years ago, before the gods were locked away in relics and scattered across Sarotha, they walked among the mortals. The people loved them, and they loved the people. So much so that children were born. Demigods, blood of the immortals, running through their veins. These children have been kept hidden from those who would do them harm, hidden from those who would kill them. Like me. But fate has a funny way of bringing us together, like moths to a flame. And if I sow enough chaos, if I burn enough cities, those demigods will have no choice but to reveal themselves. And once I've taken care of them, there will be nothing standing in my way.
You guys are going to get a little bit of extra time to talk to each other before these wolves show up. So we're going to rewind a little bit, and we're going to have these wolves show up in just a minute. So I want you guys to kind of think back to imagining your characters walking into this clearing of the forest. So there's trees behind you, but in front of you is kind of like an open grass clearing and a wood cabin that's kind of broken down and old. And next to this wooden cabin are two small creatures. They both look like miniature lizards. One of them is bright blue, and that is Rossi's character, Fergus. The other is kind of an ugly olive green, and that's Dom. And he's got his hood up, and he's kind of, he looks more like an alligator than Rossi does. He's got kind of an underbite and big teeth that kind of stick out. And they're both kind of talking to each other as you guys walk into this clearing. So what would you like to say? Imagine you heard all this screaming. You're not sure what's going on. Rossi, your character, is kind of freaking out. You're the only one who's seen these creatures. You know what they look like. They're these big flaming wolves. One of them bit you, but you got away. So you are you're trying to kind of calm Dom down, and you see this group of familiar people from your dream walk into the clearing with you. Go for it. You guys can just talk as players while I get this figured out.
Little creature, is this hovel your home?
Say that again, sorry. You need to speak up. I've just been attacked by an animal. I can't hear you.
What is this little cabin thing? Is this where you reside? It looks smelly.
Why do you talk with such venom in your voice? This is my house.
Rossi, roll me a deception check because this is not your house. Roll me a deception check, which is like a lie. It should be on your character sheet in the ability box.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my home.
Listen, what she doesn't know doesn't hurt her. I think I rolled it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
6. So then anyone who wants to roll an insight check can see if you can see if he's lying. If you roll higher than a 6 on your insight check, you'll realize that this little guy's lying about this being his house. So go for it if you'd like to.
Got it. I think I took a minute to remember how to do that.
Oh
Roll
God,
the
how I do this?
Okay, so on your character sheet, Susu, click
Oh
on.
God.
So I
Yeah.
know it's a big
Oh,
character
God.
sheet. So in the middle of your character sheet, there's a long box that's got all the
Okay,
abilities,
yeah.
and find the one that says Insight, and click on the little plus or minus that's next to it. I don't know, or whatever.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the big long middle.
It should be in
Oh.
alphabetical.
Why do you lie, small creature? Even though it looks to be about your level. I don't think this is actually.
There you go,
your
Susu.
home.
You got it. You rolled a 14 here and roll 20.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Sorry, I got distracted. It's actually my great auntie's house. Sorry, listen. I've been bit by an animal. My pal, I don't know where my pal is. He's freaking out. I can't find him. Just give me a break, man. Jesus.
You
What
can you
creatures?
can hear.
I thought you were powerful. I thought you were a demigod. I thought you
I'm
would be able to
3
handle
foot
it.
2. How am I powerful? The bloody monster was 5 foot.
Hmm.
Are you all right there, little buddy?
Mate, I've got a wee gash in my arm, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I
You
don't know
can
where
hear,
Dom is though.
you
We need
can
to find.
hear
We need to
from
find
inside
Dom.
the house. Fergus, you can hear from inside the house. Is that you, good buddy? All right, there
Jenny,
we go.
is that you?
What'd you say?
I said, Jenny, is that you?
Who's Jenny? This is Dom.
Oh, it's Dom. Sorry, pal. You had a wee bit of a feminine voice there. I didn't hear you properly. Sorry, pal. Dom, where are you, man?
Hey, come on, man. That ain't cool, man. Thought we were buddies. He opens up the door and it kind of creaks open. The door like almost falls off his hinges as he opens it up. And you guys see this green-skinned kobold who is kind of a little bit older. He's got kind of a tuft of hair coming off of his chin. He's got that alligator underbite.
So you're all right, little buddy, but are you all right, little buddy? And I pointed Dom.
Dom says, "I'm good. I just heard some scary noises, so I thought I'd hide in this house."
Seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Sorry, Dom. You abandoned me with those monsters.
What am I gonna do,
Monsters?
man?
So you've led us to monsters?
No, I've fought these monsters away, and by fighting I mean run away. But he's abandoned me before. I've got a gash, and he's having his dinner.
My goodness. I
Oh,
thought you were supposed to be stronger in numbers. Seems like we have a lot of dead weight on this team.
We would be stronger in numbers if he stuck with me.
Maybe if you weren't escaping or running away and looking for food or something or picking
Sorry.
pockets, we would actually be making some progress.
I would like to rip a piece of my shirt off and wrap Fergus's arm
Aww.
so that way he stops bleeding.
Wait, I could heal. Oh, I've just been watching his ass. Sorry, I totally forgot.
letting him bleed out.
Just letting him
Okay,
bleed.
hold on. Wait, wait. I have abilities. Can I heal him?
So you do. So you just got to remember that your spells are limited. So you only have a certain amount that you can cast per day. He's down, I think. What did we say? 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
It's
I
hard.
would.
it is
I
a
would
lot for
hold
level
it,
1 though.
maybe.
That's like one third of his HP, or what is that? 1/5 of your HP. I don't know how much your HP is.
Okay, can I cast? Wait, what are my abilities? Hey, can I have help? What are my abilities?
Yes. So on your character
Spells.
sheet,
Yeah.
yep, under spells, you'll see them. Yep,
I got cure wounds. Yeah,
you do.
I
So
do.
cure wounds heals for 1d8, which is an 8-sided
Yeah.
dice.
I'm a roll.
So that's a lot.
There you go.
Yep. So you'll heal for 4, Fergus. So you're back to full HP.
Okay, so my character, Neffy, she just kind of quietly walks over to him and just very lightly taps him on the shoulder. And the healing energy is like, woo!
Nice. And do you imagine your healing energy to be like a bright white color, or do you think it's more kind of like black because of the person that you get your powers from? Or?
Yeah, because of her affiliation with like the death, spooky magic. It's like a black kind of cloudy color.
All right, sounds good.
Oi, that's death magic.
Okay, so this person who looks kind of like a paladin, like a holier than thou, like praised by the Bible paladin, is like, "What? What did you just do?" And she's looking at your character, Susu.
You're one to talk, Pigrid, you heathen. At least we have one useful person in our party.
My character just kind of skulks in the corner watching these two bickering.
There you go.
How do we know she didn't put a curse on him?
Well, maybe that would be better for us if she did.
Maybe she would talk more if you weren't such a royal pain. I kind of snap at you.
As long as I...
We were all thinking it, Leon. Thank you, buddy.
Can I roll an intimidation check to intimidate Tyria?
That's a good question, and here's what I'll tell you, Colin.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, so when it comes to intimidating or persuading party members, I usually don't allow it. And that's because those are usually for NPCs, like my NPCs.
Right,
If you want to control one of my NPCs without casting a spell on them, you persuade them or you intimidate them to do what you want.
Okay, so
whereas
I
players,
understand.
they kind of have their own agency. Their characters.
You don't want to take that from anybody. No, that
right.
makes total
I don't
sense.
want to take away their agency. So she can decide whether or not she would be scared, and you can kind of role play that out.
Interesting.
If that sounds good with everybody,
no,
that's how I usually play
sense,
it. But if we want to change that, we can. It's not a big deal. I do have the battle map set up, so go ahead and have your conversations, and I'll butt in at the right time with the bad guys. So if anyone has anything else they want to say or do, go for it. I don't want to interrupt because this is good.
Well, listen, I think, listen, I don't think anybody has realized that we've had our first interaction with Neffy and Tyra's too busy arguing with Ygritte. I think we need to find out what's going on here. My arm is magically healed and suddenly they're moving, they're interacting with us. What's going on? Neffy, who are you? Where have you come from?
What are you? You have a lot more legs than everyone else.
You do recognize her, by the way, from the dream, but she's still. This is her first words, so that's what's surprising you. Is this is like her first words that she said. Be right back.
So when she's being bombarded with all of these questions, but the one that really stands out to her is when what's Trish's character's name? I'm looking.
Tyra.
Well, yeah, when Tyra mentions the multiple legs, and immediately she kind of just shrinks in on herself and starts pulling at the bottom of her dress and says, no, I don't. I have normal legs. Don't look.
Oh fuck, now I feel like an asshole.
Yep, perfectly normal legs right there. I don't see anything arachnid like.
I kind of raise up my peg leg.
6 feet tall.
I suppose if you want us to pretend, we can turn a blind eye.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you for patching my arm up. I don't know what on earth you've done, but I feel fantastic.
Crocus chimes in. Okay, but like, Fergus, what attacked you? What is going on here?
It all happened really, really fast. Like, Dom deserted me. We heard this growling noise, like a deep rumble, and we turned around and I just saw 2 red eyes about 6 meters away from me. And I looked to my left, and Dom was nowhere to be seen.
Hey,
and I remember
sorry, man, I already apologized, man. Come on.
Listen, you've left me behind. You've broken my trust forever. I regret bringing you along.
Yeah,
After all that convincing I had to do as well.
He kind of looks down and he's kind of like shaking his head and he like kicks a rock.
Anyway.
Can we finally abandon that creature?
Before I was rudely interrupted by the Queen. There's 2 red eyes about 6 meters in front of me, and just a low growling noise, and then I just felt a searing pain on my arm, and I just ran. I didn't look back. I just sprinted, and then somehow I've bumped into you guys, and I recognize you all from somewhere.
Okay.
From where?
I had a dream the other day, Egrid, and you were smoking some substance. And I just remember the Queen and you being at each other's throats. And I recognize everybody, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Oh, creature, please don't put me on Pigrid's level.
So in case
It's not
someone
an
doesn't know, Egrid, which is Casey's character, officially canonically smokes the devil's lettuce.
It gets me closer to God.
Yes, it brings her closer to the gods. It allows her to project her consciousness to the astral plane.
The cursed leaf. Pigrid, you should try the moonflower instead.
Well, I don't want any of that hippie stuff.
So as you guys are having this conversation, you start hearing some like movement in the forest, just like leaves breaking, twigs snapping. As this noise gets closer and closer, it comes up on you quickly, almost out of nowhere, and you see these red eyes peeking out from the forest edge. And I'll show you the map right now. So on Zoom, you can pin my camera because I'm about to switch to the battle map. So you won't see me anymore, but you'll see the creatures here.
Oh.
I will transition it now. We got it there. And I'll pin myself on Zoom, switch over. There you go. Okay, so if you pin me on Zoom, you should be able to see the battle map. And I'll point everything out. As these creatures come forward from the woods, you recognize them immediately, Fergus. These are the ones, this is the same type of creature that hurt you. And there's more of them. Like, this one was scary enough that you faced off against. Now there are 6 of them. And they are, like, creeping out of the forest slowly as they walk. Like I said, they're lighting leaves and grass on fire as they take steps forward. And this one that's in the middle breathes fire across the plain that's in front of them and leaves a little flaming pool of magma and fire, burnt grass and leaves and sticks in front of you guys, kind of making a wall between you and them. And this is where I would like everyone to roll their first initiative of the campaign. So on your character sheet, there is a button right next to the thing that looks like a shield. It says armor class. There should be one that says initiative. I want you to click on that to roll your initiative. It's like its own little box.
Okay.
Initiative is.
Oh, I found it.
Should
I'm
be in
not
the
seeing
top
it.
middle of your sheet,
I
above
see it now.
your abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Top middle of your
Nice
sheet.
roll, Rossi.
No.
Oh,
Let's all point and laugh. Woo! Fuck you, Ross.
I see it. Oh, shit. I did pretty shite too.
All right. So let's go ahead and get these initiatives down. All right, I need a notepad for this campaign. Let's see.
Also, real fast, after last time's campaign, I got a couple messages like, "Why are you so mean?" I don't mean any of it.
Be meaner. Yeah, spit on
Okay.
me, queen.
I actually, unironically, really dislike Trisha, and I fully mean this. Clip it and ship it. Put it
I
on
can't
Twitter.
believe-
Spread the rumor.
Okay,
She
now you're
bullies
becoming
all of
Cloud
us.
Demon, Colin. You're becoming Cloud Demon, okay? Just you get one awesome stream.
No. You know what I mean.
And I
I love
also
Trisha.
will be sipping on the nectar of the moon.
What's this nectar of moon you speak of? Can I have a sip?
People from the other planets call it so true.
Hand over the bottle right now.
I'll be
Here
drinking
you go.
the beer of
Susu,
the
it's
root.
Neffy, right? Neffy,
Cheers, pal.
N-E-F-P-H-I.
Yeah,
Okay.
N-E-P-H-I.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm putting down your initiatives right now. We're gonna have Fergus last, Tyria second to last, and we're gonna go up from the smallest numbers. I'm making the initiative here, so you can kind of see your own initiatives here on the rolls. You can see who goes first and who goes
You know
last.
what they always say, save the best for second to last.
I don't think that's what they say, pal.
You commoners wouldn't know. My royal parents have always told me that. You wouldn't know anything about royalty. Little creature.
Oh?
None of you, in fact. Only Shisa used to understand, but she abandoned that.
My character scuttles off to find a well to get a glass of water.
Not gonna happen. All right.
I bet he's soiling himself in fear right
Gone.
now. The little creature has abandoned us.
I actually got some dice for this campaign too. So I got these Greek and Roman inspired metal dice.
Oh, that's kind of badass.
They're fucking cool.
It's not even made of gems. Poverty.
True. All right, they're heavy
My
as
character just stands there awkwardly, saying nothing, hoping nobody looks at her.
fuck. Okay, so wolves are going here.
I like this spider creature. She seems decent.
Neffy gets embarrassed that she's being looked at and just kind of keeps trying to appear as small as possible.
Oh, you were like an 8-foot
right,
tall spider
Crocus.
creature.
I know, it's really embarrassing.
Oh.
She's trying so hard. It's like, don't look at me.
Hmm.
All right, Crocus, you are up first.
Okay.
So with that, you are, I don't know if you can tell your guys' character tokens, but I'll point them out for everyone so everyone can kind of look at my camera here and I'll show you where your character's at. So back here we have the two kobolds. This is Rossi's character and Dom. Dom is the kind of darker colored one. Rossi is the blue one. Okay. Over here we have Susu's character, Neffy. Okay. Kind of hard to tell, but just the shadowy kind of figure face. That's her character. That's the picture I picked out. You can send me something if you want, Susu, to change it, and I will. No problem.
Yeah,
That's just the placeholder.
I'm
for now.
drawing one right now.
Awesome. This is Egrid, right here. This is Casey's character, Egrid. Right here is Moonsey. So this is Crocus. Here is Tyria. This is Trish's character. Here is Leon. And here is Jinx's character, Shisa. All right. So, with that... Oh, did Rossi die? Oh,
Did
no.
he die?
No,
He went to get
my
water.
camera got messed up. Here, let's see. Did I fix it? No.
No, he's frozen right now.
Okay, there we go. I fixed the cameras. So someone just told me on my overlay my cameras are fucked. All right, guys. So Moonsey, you're up first here. You've got a wall of fire in front of you, and by wall I don't mean it's you can't see over it. It's just like imagine like in Minecraft where there's like magma blocks. You don't want to step on it because it's gonna hurt you.
Right.
So that's kind of where you're at. So
Okay.
bad guys are here around the edge, coming out of the forest.
All right. So obviously Crocus is like freaked out. She's never seen anything like this. She's lived in a farm her whole life. So her first instinct is to start picking up rocks. She's picking up rocks on the floor
Yep, there's plenty around.
to throw. Okay. And should she throw one right now?
She could, yeah. She could use the spell that you have.
Okay. My character's gonna throw a rock.
Yeah. So you're gonna use Magic Rock, which I think is the spell's name, right, or something, or Magic
Yeah,
Stone.
Magic Stone.
Magic
yeah.
Stone. Okay. So let's see here. A 9 to hit. So again, explaining how combat works, everybody. All bad guys have an armor class when you try to attack them, just like you have an armor class. You can see that on your character sheet in the big shield. It's right above your abilities and stuff. These creatures' armor class is higher than 9. So a 9 is going to miss. As you throw the rock, it bounces off one of the trees and kind of bounces into the forest, into the darkness. So no hit there. Now, that's your action for your turn. You can move. You can do a bonus action if you... Actually, I think your bonus action was to do the magic rock, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look real quick. But either way, you can move. So if you want to move your character from here, you totally can. And you can move up to 6 spaces.
I think I'm just gonna stay put for now.
Okay. Let me draw the compass here for everybody. I'm going to draw it right here.
Oh, I like the music.
Thanks. I love this song. All right, so if you can see on my map there, you can now tell me where you want your character to move. Just say, I want my character to go north 3 spaces, then east 2 spaces, or whatever. That should help you kind of tell me where you want them to go. Or you can just kind of give me an estimation and I'll move them there. Either way, all good. So, next up we have Tyria.
Hello. I thought I rolled pretty low.
Nope, I fucked that one up.
Yeah, I don't think it's me.
It is, sorry, Leon.
Okay, so I missed the explanation for like the thing in the middle. Is that's where we don't want to walk, right?
Yeah, this kind of like red area is fire. So one of these wolf creatures breathed fire out in an area of effect about that big, and so you're gonna want to avoid that area of the battlefield.
Okay.
You can run through it, but you're gonna take a little bit of fire damage.
Okay, so how much we can move is like walking speed, right?
Correct. Your walking speed on your character sheet.
And how much is a square? Like
A square
5?
is 5 feet, so your characters can move up to six squares. Should be.
Okay.
You might have more because you're a barbarian. Did you say 30 or 35?
Mine says 30 feet.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, 6 squares.
So I kind of want to go up, like I want to go. I'm trying to explain how I want to move.
Sure.
Kind of move over 1.
Do you want to move closer to the fire?
Yep. And then
Okay.
up 3.
Yep.
So that's 4, and then over 2.
You got it.
And
And you
that's-
can move diagonally too. You can move diagonally. So if you wanted, you could get a little
Oh.
bit further to there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yep. You can move diagonally, guys. No problem.
So I don't think there's much further I can do. So I'm just gonna
So
wait.
this is a good kind of chance to explain what you can do with actions on your turn. One of the actions anyone can take, this is for every player here, one of the actions you can take is called dash, and what it does is it lets you double your movement speed for the turn. So you can move 6 more spaces, you just wouldn't be able to attack as well. You're giving up your attack to move further if you want.
Oh, okay. So I could move 6 further.
You could move 6 further, so you could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get right up on this one.
Right. I think I'm gonna wait on that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get too far out from everybody else. But
Sounds good.
I think I'm just gonna hold
All
my
right.
place.
Sounds good. Perfect. Then in that case, you can do what's called the dodge action. So since you have nothing else to do here, you can take the dodge action, which is you kind of go into like a defensive stance and kind of
Perfect.
like a boxer would, you know? And it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
it so the enemies have a harder time hitting you. So
Oh,
you're
perfect.
giving
I'll
up
do
your
that then.
action to go into a defensive stance. So we'll have you take the dodge action. Neffy, you are up.
Okay.
You could easily get to the wolf that's down here. 5,
Okay.
10, 15, 20 if you wanted to, or if you want to stay at range, you've got all this space over here to work with. And then this is a house behind you guys. This with this little ladder next to it. You can climb up that ladder to get on the roof of that house if you want.
Oh. Okay. Can I move and then cast?
You can. Yep.
Let me see. Hold on. Wait. I'm so sorry. Let me see what my
You're
thingy
totally
do.
good.
I'm looking.
Shisa, you're on deck after her, so start thinking about what you want to do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Actually, she can actually stay there because she has a ranged ability here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no. Actually, it could be fun to slap it. Yeah. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna. Okay. There's trees and stuff, right?
Yes, these circles are trees.
Okay. Can my character like web up into the tree? Just Spider-Man on up and
You have a climbing speed that's equal to your walking speed as a spider race, so you can
hell
just
yeah.
you can climb up stuff without taking any penalty to your movement.
Oh, cool. Okay. I would like for Neffy to just totally forget about her weird spider legs for a second, and she just kind of shoots a web and jumps up into the tree.
Okay, sounds good. So I know that your spider race that you picked is called the jumper, right? That's like the type that we picked.
Yeah.
Is that
so
correct?
I'm pretty sure.
So I gotta see what the ability says. I don't know if it lets you fire a web necessarily.
Aw, but that would be
It
cool.
would be cool, and I may just allow it. I just gotta look at your character sheet real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to see what the ability you get as a jumping spider is. Colin, I also want to let you know if you want to retroactively change this, we can. You can do what's called, and this is again for everybody, you can do what's called holding your action. So you can wait for somebody to come near you to attack if you want. You can say, I hold an attack in case one of those wolves comes within range, and then I'll attack it. You can do that. You're giving up that dodge. So you can
I'd
do
like
that
to
if
do
you
that
want.
instead.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you're going to
thank
hold
you.
an attack, yeah. And you're holding attack with your flail? That's your weapon of choice, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So okay, no spider. Okay, she just jump up there. That's cool too. That's really badass. Yeah. Cool spider jump. Yeah.
Okay. And
Could you jump up there?
I think there is something you get with webs. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, you can definitely jump, and you can make it up to this tree, like to the top of this tree if you want, or you can be halfway up or however far up you want to be.
Okay, yeah. Can she just boing on up to the top of the tree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, cool.
I'll put you on a dice to show that your character is up there.
Elevated. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
Is there,
so at the top of this tree, what would you like to do?
Can I whip him?
Can you whip him? Yeah. I think your whip has a range of, what is it, 10 feet? Yeah, 10 feet. So you'd need to only be 10 feet up the tree, which would be
We'll say
almost
she is.
halfway.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay,
Go ahead and
okay.
roll your whip attack. So you click on the +2, and it should roll it here.
It says, wait, do I do that? Whee! The +2. Is that under strength, or what do I... I'm so sorry. What do I do it?
So, did you click on the +2?
Oh, is it actions?
Yeah, it's under action. Sorry, yeah.
Whip? Oh, plus...
Yep,
okay,
whip
yeah, here we
+2.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I just roll it? Did it go?
It
Yeah.
should have. Sorry, I'm trying to get Moonsy back in the call. All right, 16 is going to hit this creature. Go ahead and roll damage. So you click on the button that's next to the whip, the one that says 1d4 + 2.
Okay.
Click on that, and it should roll your damage. 6 damage. That's maximum damage, I believe. Yeah. So you whip this wolf creature for 6 damage, and it leaves a huge gash in the molten rocks that make up its back, and it looks up at you with flaming eyes, but its back is like falling apart. Like one of its legs is almost falling off now, and it's almost like it's deforming. So it looks like it's made of magma, and the way you hit it so hard that it seems like the magma is kind of falling apart, and that the wolf, this creature that's made of magma, is like turning back into like its liquid form based on how hard you hit it. But it's not quite there yet. You just barely didn't kill it.
Oh,
so
man.
It's got a little bit more HP than your damage was. They have 8 HP. So with that 6 damage, you've done your movement, you've done your action. As a bonus action, I think that's all you got. So awesome turn. Good damage. The wolves are going to go up next here. Okay, my Wi-Fi just went out. Be back ASAP. Okay, that's from Moonsy. So she'll be back, everybody. No worries.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Oh, she's back. Okay, awesome.
Hi.
Okay, there we go. Let me try and fix the cameras. There we go. Next up is the wolves, like I said. So this wolf is going to move forward, and it's going to breathe flame up into the tree, which is going to come after Susu. This one is going to walk through the fire up to Egrid. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This one's going to walk up to... Actually, probably going to walk up to Moonsy. You threw a rock at it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This one's going to come up to Colin. So, Colin, you're going to let loose your attack action. So, go ahead and roll your flail attack.
Did I do it right?
Let me look. If it showed up in roll 20, you did. Yep. So 17 is going to hit. So go ahead and roll your flail damage.
Okay.
All right, 7. As you bring your flail down, the spiky ball just caves in this wolf's head, and like the forehead of it, like just kind of almost swallows the ball of your flail. You know how your flail is like a spiky ball? It swallows that in its magma, and then you rip it out quickly before it melts the metal of your weapon. But this creature now looks up at you. Its eyes are all like pointed in different directions, and it looks like it should totally be dead, but it's still walking. So this creature is not organic. You can tell just by the way you hit it. It's not made of flesh. It's made completely entirely of magma.
Hmm.
So that is something you've never seen before.
It's not natural.
It's not natural at all. This is not a natural creature. This is a creature that was made with magic. All right. Shisa, you're up. Egrid, you're on deck. You're up next. So Shisa, you're up.
So
you are
can I
right here.
Can I ask what health the wolves are?
So I told you as a DM that they have 8 HP.
Okay.
And that's not something I'll always tell you. This is because it's our first combat.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of extra information. But for the most part, my monster's HP will be hidden from you, and you'll have to kind of do the math in your head. Okay, how much damage have we dealt before this thing died? You know, you'll have to kind of do the math in your head of like, Colin hit it for 8, Susu hit it for 6, this person hit it for 11, and then it died. So it's, you know, somewhere in there in that HP. You're going to have to kind of do that own math yourself. But these ones, they're 8 HP.
Okay. I would like to dash to the west to get close to these wolves. Those
Okay.
2 wolves.
So you
And-
want to get close to these ones?
Yeah, close enough so that way I can use my dissonant whispers.
You should be able to use it. What's the range on Dissonant Whispers? I think it's 30 or 60 feet. It should say
60.
next to it. 60 feet? You're well within 60 feet.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
then
you can hit either one of these that you want.
Yeah. Well, if I don't have
So
to move.
They will need to roll a save. At the top of your spells, it should say spell save DC. What's that number? The top of your spell list.
13.
It's 13. Okay, so they need to beat a 13, and they're probably not going to. Yeah, they rolled a 5. So
Get wrecked, noobs.
you're gonna roll your damage there. Click on the damage next to that spell. I think it's 3D something or 2D something.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes, 16 psychic damage. So as you cast the spell, which wolf are you targeting? The top one or the bottom one here?
Oh, it's not like an AoE.
It's not.
like
No,
a
it's so targeted.
One.
It's one.
I'll do the top one.
This one?
Yeah.
So as you cast it, its head just fucking explodes. Magma flies everywhere. This creature, normally if it lived through that, it would be afraid of you and need to run away, but it didn't leave through it. Your 16 damage just fucking killed it outright. One shot. So, you
but
destroyed
it is mined with my powers.
Yeah, you literally split its mind, which apparently
Get your
it does have a
wig
mind.
split, bitch. What?
All right. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Very nice. Egrid, you are up. Unless you want to move anywhere, Shisa.
Since it ran up on me, do I get to do like a reaction and a attack?
You
So
would
do I get
not.
to do?
You
Okay,
just,
I was
it
just
ran up on
wondering.
you, but it didn't attack. It ran up and it was like sniffing you, which is kind of interesting. It didn't immediately attack you.
Boy, heathen! I hit him with my great sword.
All right, go ahead and roll the attack. So you click on the plus whatever that's next to your greatsword. Yep. So 7 is gonna miss. So as you bring your greatsword down, the creature kind of like dodges to the right, and your sword kind of chunks itself into the dirt, and you lift it out of the dirt.
Ah.
You still have a bonus action and movement. Just a reminder, if you move away from this creature, it will get an attack of opportunity if it's violent towards you. If it's an enemy, it will get to try and attack you if you try and move away from it.
Come in, 8,
I'll stay.
and then 3.
You're just gonna stay where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything you want to do with bonus action?
Fire
So in the
I don't. It
Trisha,
says I
you're
can only
unmuted.
do. It
Sorry.
says I can only do 2-weapon fighting, and I don't have 2
Okay,
weapons.
yeah, correct,
I only have
correct.
1-hand weapon, right? Yeah.
Yep. All right, so that would be your turn. Tyria, you're up.
Hi, so I'm going to use. Oh, wait. Do you move first or the cast first?
Anyone you
usually?
want, in any order you want.
Which one is me? Can you point to the little things?
One more time.
Can you point to the little things? Which one is me?
This one.
Oh, okay.
Blue hair.
Well, they're all pretty close to me, right? So might as well just hide behind you guys. So I'm gonna cast the Ray of Frost.
Okay. Yep. So which you want to do? This one that you said was close to you, or
yes.
that one? Okay. This
Well,
one.
who's that one in front of? Who's the character?
This is in front of Moonsy's character Crocus.
Okay, what's the other one?
This one is in front of Egrid. This one is just kind of out in the distance.
Well, the little carcass creature seems quite adorable, and Pigrid can handle herself. So I will cast the Ray of Frost upon the closest wolf to me.
All right. So go ahead and roll the attack for Ray of Frost. A 14 is going to hit. So now you can go ahead and roll damage. So you click on the next button to the right.
This thing?
There you go. 3 cold damage
Son
as
of a
you
bitch.
fire it at
Sorry.
the creature that's next to you and close to Moonsy. You fire this ray of frost at it, and it is slowed until your next turn, so the creature will have less movement speed. And this ice kind of forms on it as you fire this bolt of frost at it. But it looks like it's not super effective because the creature's kind of made of magma, you know? It's made of fire, so it's kind of melting the ice really quickly, but for the most part, it's a good attack.
But ice is good on fire Pokemon.
I think that's
Right?
not true.
Oh no, it's water. It's good on
Water
Okay,
is-
never
water
mind.
is.
Never mind. Oops.
Fergus is going to leave Dom behind here because Dom's a coward. 10, 15, 20. He's going to come up here to Egrid. And since Egrid is within 5 feet of Rossi's character has a special ability called Pack Tactics. So like a wolf, this little lizard creature, he gets better attacks if he's got allies near him. He works together in a pack. So now that Egrid is next to him, he's going to have extra bonuses to his attack roll to try and hit this wolf. He rolls a 17 to hit, and he's going to get sneak attack damage because he's got advantage. So he is going to get 8 damage, which is perfect. So he is going to stab into this wolf with his dagger, and as he does, he kind of rips through the magma of it and rips this wolf apart, killing it immediately. And he kind of lets out this like feral Scottish roar.
Romulus, you forgot.
can hear it now.
You forgot my movement.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm just gonna save it as an attack. So if something comes near me, I can attack it later.
So that is not something you'd be able to do. You can't save your movement and like replace it with something else,
Oh, we
but you
can't?
still get your movement. So if you want to move up to 6 spaces, you totally can.
Okay,
wherever you'd
I'll
like.
move. I'll move back 1.
Okay.
Back 2.
Sure, right there.
No. Sorry. Can you bring me back down?
Mhm.
Up north 1, east 1. There you go.
You got it.
Away from the wolves.
Perfecto. All right,
Thank you.
we're back up to Crocus.
Okay.
You messaged me on Discord. Let me look
I
at it.
did.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do something first before I do that.
Yes.
I'm gonna try talking to it, the one in front of me. Hey, why are you attacking us? Like, what's up, dude? Can I do animal handling for that?
Sure, you can try. As you're speaking to it, I'm not gonna make this, take any effect on your turn. I'm not gonna take up any of your special actions or anything. As you're talking to it, the creature doesn't seem to understand you as it kind of tilts its head. Doesn't seem to be understanding your words. So this particular creature doesn't seem like it's an animal at all.
Fudge. Okay, Croc is like A-lines towards the forest.
Okay.
Just goes
Would
straight
you
towards the
like
forest.
to just run past this creature like through the fire, or do you want to kind of go around and try to get to this one?
Can I go around by
Yeah,
chance?
yeah.
Okay,
5, 10,
let's do
15,
that.
20, 25, 30. You can get to this tree easy.
Okay.
And then what would you like to do once you get to the tree?
Well, Crocus kind of reaches up and grabs a branch and just tears it down.
All right, you're tall enough to reach up and kind of grab one of the lower branches. When you reach up, I mean, your arm reaches pretty far up. So you grab one of the lower branches and break it off. And what do you do with that branch?
I go to hit the one wolf nearest me. I go to hit it.
Let's see. Can we get there? Can we get there? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So we'll have you move here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so Susu's on the tree and you're there. Okay, so you're not impeding her space.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so you rip the branch off the tree, you cast Shillelagh on it. Go ahead and roll the Shillelagh attacks.
Oh shit.
With the natural one. The natural one. You bring the branch down, it hits the top of the wolf, but doesn't seem like it deals any damage, and it just immediately lights on fire in your hand, and you have to like let it go. the branch just it doesn't seem to work in this particular case.
Oh no.
So you get the idea. If the Shillelagh just quite didn't work this time, but if it worked, you would be able to hit it with a branch. It's not like every branch you hit it with is going to light on fire. This is just because you rolled a natural one, which is like a fail, like a critical fail. So you lose the weapon that you just made.
Okay,
Fortunately.
that's no worries.
All right.
I dropped the branch and back up a little.
All right. Leon, you are up. You are facing down a wolf in front of you. Did
Yep.
you roll your attack?
I did not yet, but I can do that right
roll
now.
roll your attack for the.
I'm gonna roll for a hit with the horns, just for funsies.
Oh wow. Okay, so you rolled a natural 20, which is our first crit of the campaign. First crit in combat. So the way crits work in my combat is you are going to roll your damage. So roll regular damage. So click on the damage next to horns. And then your horns are normally a d6. So you roll a 6-sided dice for the horns. So when crits like this happen, this goes for everybody. You roll your regular damage, and then you add on the dice number. So in this case, it's 6, because you roll a d6. So you're going to do 4 plus the dice's number, which is a total of 10. Yes, but the enemies are going to crit that way too. So the enemies will do a lot of damage when they crit, but this will also make it so that you do a lot of damage when you crit. When you guys crit, it's going to be badass. You're going to always do awesome damage. So in this particular case, you gore this creature with your horns, and your burly nature and like the way that you gore this thing, you're able to keep the magma off your forehead and off your skin, and you're able to gore it and just rip this thing apart with your horns without getting even touched by the flaming magma that comes off of it. And you kind of like lift it up, and it just like disperses into magma. You like lift it up with your horns, and it just disperses out into a puddle of magma in front of you and dies. Fucking badass. All right, you still have your movement.
Oh,
I suppose I can grow to love this character. He seems quite useful.
So I get 6 spaces. So that's my action. So I can't like. Oh, my camera just went out for some reason.
It seems like everyone's has been. It's all good.
That's
No
a really
problem.
weird. No, so so I can't do like a hold. Like I can't hold my action, or I can't do dodge or whatever. That's like an
you already
action.
used your action, which was the horn
Okay,
attack.
got it.
So
So
you
they're
have
like
your
the same
movement
kind of
and your
thing.
bonus action. Your bonus action would be your best one is raging, and that's usually only good when you're like right next to somebody. Right now you're not really right next to anybody, but
Yeah. So why don't I?
you could
Go
get probably to this one or this one.
So that's what I was gonna say. Why don't I go diagonally down 3, like closer to Tyria? Oh, the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then bring me down 2.
You can move one more if you want to get right in range with it.
I'll do that actually.
Okay. So you are now in melee with the wolf. You still have your bonus action if you want to rage.
I'm okay.
All right. Sounds good. Neffy, you are up.
Okay, let me go look at the sheet again. Okay, so after she saw poor Crocus floundering around with the little branch, she moves in to finish off the wolf with her whip. So we're gonna do this thing. Yeah.
Yep.
do that.
17's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
6 damage as you bring the whip down. The wolf is just splattered into a pile of magma, leaving just a flaming ball. I should be leaving the flaming balls on the ground where their magma
Oh,
is.
yeah. That's cool. Deuces, bitch.
And this one.
She doesn't say that. I said that. That was.
Nice. All right. That is your turn. Do you want to move now? You can get down from the tree. You can move wherever you'd like. You got you can move up to 4 spaces because you need 2 to get down from the tree. So if you want to move up to 4 spaces away from the tree, you could, or you could just stay there if you want.
Okay. Can I move over to where that blue lizard bitch?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's Rossi.
Well, I'll move next to Rossi's character, and is that Egrid there too?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'll move next to Rossi and Egrid to help them with those wolves over there.
All right, sounds good. Next up is the wolves. So this wolf has already used its flame breath, so it's just going to attack Colin's character. So That wolf is going to roll a 14 to hit Colin. Colin, what is your armor class?
13.
13. So it is going to hit you because it rolls one above your armor class. And it's going to deal 6 points of piercing damage as it bites into your leg. It's burning as it bites into your leg. The holes that it leaves in your leg are kind of like singeing the hairs that make up your kind of furry body. This bite that's left in your thigh is burning and bloody, and it does not feel good. As this creature kind of lets go of your leg and looks like it's about to go in for another attack on its next turn. The other wolf is going to move forward here, seeing its opportunity. It's going to breathe fire. I don't think it can get all of you guys. 5, 10, 15. No, it can move here. Let's see. It can get 5, 10, 15. It can get 3 of you. So it's going to go for... Yeah, it's going to go for these 3. Okay. So he's going to breathe fire on Egrid, Rossi's character Fergus, and Susu's character Neffy. So what I need you guys to do is roll me a dexterity saving throw is what I need. So in the top left of your character sheet, there should be a box that says saving throw. I need you to roll the dexterity one. So in the top left character sheet, there should be a small box that says saving throws. Find that for Susu, Casey, and Rossi. Okay, so Casey rolled a 10. Rossi rolled a 23.
Is it this one?
Yep, you got it. That's a dexterity check, but I'm gonna use it.
Oh, wait,
it's
wait,
below
is
that.
One?
It's below that. So do you see
okay.
the box that says saving throws?
That
There
one?
you go. Yep, and
Yeah.
you still did great. So with the saves, Casey, you're gonna take full damage from this because you didn't save from the ability. Susu and Rossi are gonna take half damage, and that damage is gonna be 4. So Casey, you're gonna take 4 fire damage. Susu, you're gonna take 2. Rossi is also gonna take 2. As this wolf walks up slowly and breathes fire onto you guys. Egrid, you're wearing that heavy armor, so it's kind of hard for you to move, and you take kind of the full brunt of this fire blast. Susu, you're pretty nimble, so you're able to kind of dodge out of the way of most of it, but still gets kind of singed. And same with Rossi. He's able to kind of do a backflip and dodge over most of it, but he still gets singed. Shisa, you are up. There's 2 bad guys left here.
I think that maybe my poison could kill them, could finish them off.
You could. I think you. What is the poison that you're using? The poison spray? Is that
Poison spray? Yeah.
you can hit one of them? I think. Will you read to me what it says?
It says you extend your hand towards a creature you can see within range and project a puff of noxious gas from your palm. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 poison damage.
Okay. Yep. So you could do that to one thing because it says a creature.
Okay.
So you could choose this wolf or this wolf.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the wolf that's right on top of Leon.
Okay. Sounds good. And then, what is the range on that spell? Acid spray or whatever it was.
10 feet.
10 feet. So you got to move to here if you want to hit that one. Is that good with you?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and, well, I need to roll. So I need to roll a 13 Constitution saving throw. The creature rolls a 17 on their save. So they are going to save from the spell, which means they're not going to take any damage from it.
Okay.
So you cast the noxious puff in its face, and it doesn't seem to affect it that much. This particular time just didn't seem to really poison it like you wanted to.
All right.
With that, you still got movement, still got your bonus action, which is you can inspire people, I think, with your bonus action if you want.
Yeah. I think I'm going to inspire. Wait, is it how many turns are there? Who's next after me?
Next after you is Egrid, and then Tyria.
Inspire Egrid.
All right.
You can do it, Egrid.
So
I believe in you.
That's awesome. So what that means, Casey, is that your character can, anytime you make an attack, a saving throw, or an ability check, you can roll an extra d6 and add it to that to try and be better at whatever you're doing. You just got to make sure that you tell me you're doing that before I tell you whether or not you succeed or fail. So if you want to attack somebody and you roll like a 12, for example, if you want to be safe, you say, okay, I want to use my inspiration that she gave me to roll that extra d6 to add on to my 12. And, it might get you there.
Okay.
But that would be before I tell you, oh, that misses, Casey. Like, 12 misses. You know what I mean? So you have to do that before I give you the result. So with that, you have this extra bonus. You get to use it one time within the next 10 minutes. So,
okay.
It is your turn.
I want to fight the wolf closest to me.
All right, this one right there.
I run up to it and I say, "This time I won't miss, base."
All right, go ahead and roll your attack. 17. Do you want to use your inspiration, or are you good?
Oh yeah, I meant to say I want to use it.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Obviously,
you don't need to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 17's gonna hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. So that'll be next to the great sword. It should be like 2d6 plus something.
Is that right?
Yep, that's right. Yep. So 6 slashing damage as you bring your sword down. You slice through this creature, lopping off one of its magma legs as it kind of falls to the side. It looks like it's about to die. You really wounded it, but not quite killed it. Anything else you'd like to do?
No.
You were a woman of your word. You said you were going to hit, and you totally did. You lopped one of those legs off. Nice. Tyria, you are up.
Well, I guess I'll have to save Pigrid. What a surprise. Guess I'll use Ray of Frost again on the one next to Pigrid.
Actually, you know what? I think that one's dead. Because you used Ray of Frost on it before. I forgot.
Huh?
Yeah, you dealt 3 damage to it before with your Ray of
so
Frost.
I actually killed it.
So you killed
then.
it. So yeah, Egrid kills that one that you damaged before.
It's like loosening a jar, Pigrid. I helped you first.
All right. So yes, with that, your sword kind of comes down and slices that dude in half. It pools into a pile of magma. All right. There's only one wolf left, Tyria, and it's over here.
Well, I cast my Ray of Frost and it looks like it's going to hit.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go ahead and roll damage.
Pigrid, watch and learn. Please do something high, fuck's sake.
2 cold
Son
damage.
of a gun. All right, this fucking move, man. Which one is stronger than this? This is horseshit.
All right, so you fire off your Ray of Frost. It kind of freezes a little piece of this wolf, but doesn't seem to mortally wound it.
I'm loosening the jar.
Fergus can't seem to get there. Did you want to move? Fergus is definitely going to move back on his turn because he can't get through the fire. Did you want to move, Tyria?
Whoa.
Was Tyria? Trisha?
What's up, sorry?
Did you want to move your character at all?
Not really. I don't think so. I don't think it's really necessary. Right?
All right. Crocus, you're up. Leon, you're on deck.
Wait, am I? Okay, my mic is on. I'm gonna move towards the last wolf.
Okay. You can avoid the fire easily.
Perfect. And I'm gonna go in for an unarmed strike. I'm gonna try to kick it in the head.
Okay. You would get the idea this is a bad idea. You don't want to light your foot on fire.
It's a bad idea, but it's there.
If you want, you could grab a branch from one of these trees and do the same thing you did last time. You would get the idea. I mean, I don't think Crocus is dumb. I think Crocus would realize that kicking a creature made of magma is gonna light your foot on fire. Probably not a great idea. So if you wanted to grab another stick, you totally could. There's plenty of them laying around or in the trees. Or you could throw another stone.
I think I still have some stones left, so I'm gonna throw a stone on it.
Okay. So you could just stay back here if you want, or you could
Okay.
even go further back, or you could get closer if you are so inclined.
I think I'm in a good place. I'm gonna
Alright.
go for it.
All right, go ahead and roll the magic stone attack. 16 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
So you click on the damage that's next to magic stone. It should be to the right of what you just clicked. Nice, perfect. You did perfect damage to kill this thing. So how do you want this to look when you throw your rock at it and kill it? How do you want to finish this battle off?
Crocus is flailing at this point. She's panicking. She, you know.
Yeah. So you kind of like take the rock and you like almost close your eyes and just fucking fling the thing, and like skipping a rock across the pond, you go right through the face and body of this creature from nose to tail and just rip through it with the rock, and the creature just melts into a pile of magma, leaving you guys panting. The flames are slowly dying out here in the field, and you are finally getting a chance to rest as a group, as the battle seems to have finished. And Rossi's character kind of goes over to his friend, and they both begin talking a little bit and just making sure that each other are all right, because despite being kind of a coward, he still cares about his friend. And the rest of you guys now have an opportunity to do what they call looting. So this is your first battle. There are spoils at the end of this battle. There are 2 places you can find spoils. So as D&D players that are new, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of guidance here. First, there is the pile of magma that is left behind. And as it gets colder and hardens, that might be useful for investigating. It might be worth money to people who are collectors or researchers. That kind of thing is always going to be useful somewhere. So you're not going to want to gather all of it, but you might want to gather some of the life essence of these creatures. And then you have the abandoned house, which might have some things in it as well. So those are 2 places you could look for loot after this battle. And you guys can just tell me what you want to do. Close out of the
We
initiative.
go one by one. I'll go in the house. Oh, sorry.
Whatever you guys want to do, you can go in any
Actually,
order you want.
her royal self is going to go first because I didn't miss any of my attacks on like Pigrid. I'm gonna go into that abandoned house and go take things. Although it's just borrowing. Stealing is below me.
Oh. Okay, so you guys watch as Tyria walks up to the old cabin and kind of creaks the door open. And as you do, Tyria, the door literally falls off of its hinges this time. The second time it's been open today. This time, as you push it open, it just falls flat inside the house and leaves a big like dust cloud as it hits the ground inside this house. And everyone, you kind of see Tyria going into the house. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I run in the house behind her and I say, "Wait, this isn't all yours."
I wasn't gonna take everything unlike you. I was taking it for our party because I'm generous like that.
All right. What are the rest of
This
you guys
moon
doing?
nectar is making my head hurt.
So I don't really want any part of the girls are fighting. So I'm gonna kind of scope out. I don't really want to loot per se,
The
but I kind of want to
women
see
are
what these wolf
Creature.
kind of things are like.
Yeah.
Just kind of investigate them.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Curious.
Go ahead and roll me. Anyone who's curious about the wolves, well, go ahead and roll me a nature check on the wolves. So that'll be in your abilities, same spot as perception and
did.
investigation and all that other stuff. So we got nature checks identical from Moonsey and Colin. So Crocus and Leon and Shisa all rolling together. With your combined rolls, you all get the same information, which is these creatures are most certainly made of magic. They were animated piles of magma from a very distant place that you do not recognize magma that is like this. This magma is strange. As it hardens, it almost crystallizes, and it is not any type of magma that you have that you recognize from this mortal world that you live on. It seems like these creatures were made out of a special kind of magma from possibly another plane of existence, like possibly from another universe. Like, this is something that you've never seen before, especially Crocus, who's very in tune with nature. This is most certainly not natural lava. This is some kind of special magma.
Is it like fragile, like brittle to the touch?
It is not. It's extremely strong, in fact.
Okay.
Almost hardening into like a diamond-like substance. You would consider this like onyx. So it is like a precious gem that is black as it hardens. Could be worth some money.
All right.
And there are 6 of them, 6 piles of that.
I just like scoop one up, I guess, in my arms, or
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. You get the idea that you're probably not going to be able to take all of them unless you guys
I just want
come
one.
back. Yeah. So yeah, you grab a pile of it, and it seems really nice. As you kind of pick it up off the ground, it has to kind of rip away from the ground because it's stuck to it because of the way it melted on there. So kind of rip some grass and dirt up as you pick it up. What about the rest of you guys? I'm going to go back to the house with Tyria and Egrid after. I just want to make sure everyone outside has everything done that they want to do.
I'm gonna take some as well.
Okay.
Not a lot, but just a couple of
Okay.
like chunks.
No problem. Looks like Rossi might be back.
Rosie! Oh, Fergus.
My name's Fergus, pal.
Hey, welcome back. Glad to have you back, man. Missed you. Your
I've been
character was
smoking a bit
badass.
too much of the. I've been smoking a bit too much of the forbidden leaf, mate.
Glad to have you, man.
Taking his wig off. Sorry,
Egrid's
his wig
been
is giving
corrupted
a
me.
migraine.
All right, so you guys won the battle. You killed one of the wolves, Fergus. You were pretty badass. Did some good damage, and I've just been telling them a bit about the leftovers, the spoils that you've gotten. So these wolves, they melted into like piles of magma, and that magma has hardened into a precious stone called onyx. So you are able to collect a good amount of onyx if you want, although it's pretty heavy for your character. Like even Leon is struggling to pick up a full pile of it, but it will probably be worth some good money if you were to sell these precious gems to people, or give this these creatures' insides to a researcher, because they'll want to know kind of where they came from. They are most certainly not natural creatures. They were made by magic. You would consider them elementals. Those of you that are players that play a lot of RPGs, this would be considered an elemental. It's made of fire and magma. It's not a natural creature made of flesh and blood. So these elementals left behind that. Your friend is fine, Dom. Dom is fine, Rossi. But he did not help in the battle. He's a fucking coward, like you said.
As per usual, man. Dom, what are you bloody doing?
Hey, man, I mean, listen, buddy. Thought we were, okay. I'm just a little scared. You know me, I'm not really a fighter. Okay.
You should leave him.
Maybe you need some of that forbidden lettuce to take the edge off.
Maybe. You know, I didn't really want to come on this trip anyway.
Aye.
And leave.
Feel free to desert us.
What? I don't want to leave you behind. You're my buddy.
Okay.
You guys hear this conversation as you enter the house. Go ahead and roll me investigation checks, Tyria and Egrid, as you're looking through the house. And then I didn't know if you wanted to as well, Fergus, if you want to go in the house and see if there's any loot in there. I told the players that there's 2 spots for loot. There's the bodies of these elementals, and then maybe inside the house if you roll high enough.
I will follow suit and I will come and investigate the house.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Yep.
Damn it, Pigret.
All right, so we got, let's see. I know you probably need to rejoin in roll 20, Ross. There we go. Got you. I see you in there. And then we got a 20 from Casey and a 12 from Trisha. 2012, the year we all were supposed to die.
Tyria.
Did I say something? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you said Casey and Trisha.
Oh, yeah, Tyria and Egrid.
Mm.
And then an 11 from Fergus. Okay, so with that, looking through, Tyria and Fergus, you guys find some interesting things as you're looking around. This is what you get for spoils. So, Fergus, you find a golden watch. probably worth 15 gold pieces. It's a contraption that you may have never seen before, but it's kind of ticking as you pick it up. It's making like a tick, tick, tick noise, and you notice that it's got symbols on it. I'm not sure if your character has seen a watch before or not. You can decide whether or not Fergus would have ever seen a watch. So it either confuses you or you know exactly what it is. Then, Tyria, as you're looking through, you find a jewelry chest that's got some pearl necklaces in it. And it looks like it's long abandoned, covered in dust. Nobody's been in this house for a long time, so nobody's going to miss it if you pick it up. And probably worth somewhere between... It'll depend on how you haggle with jewelry. Jewelry's kind of, hard to make money on sometimes, so it'll depend on who you haggle with. But it probably could be worth somewhere between 25 and 50 gold pieces for these, because these are real pearls.
I see. This will be nice to wipe my ass with. Perfect. I'll take it.
And then Egrid with a 20. As you are walking through the house, the two, Fergus and Tyria, they go upstairs into the bedrooms that are in the top of the house, and they find their spoils. You in the bottom floor, you as you're looking around, you're kind of walking around and you trip over a little bit of like a bump in the wooden floor, and you see that there's a little hatch.
Hi. Oh, what's this? Okay, I go and I open it up.
So yeah, it's got a small metal handle. You pull on the handle, it lifts up the hatch, and there's a ladder that leads down into a basement area.
Oh, I start climbing down.
Okay. As you climb down there is a very interesting little alchemy station down here where somebody was creating potions and maybe even casting spells of different kinds. Looks like this might have been a cottage for some kind of wizard. This is where they keep their spoils. So you find one scroll of invisibility. So this lets anyone who can cast spells cast invisibility. I actually don't even think you need to be able to cast spells. Anyone who uses this scroll, if you read what's on the scroll, it'll allow you to be invisible for an hour. And then the other things that you find are 2 healing potions, minor healing potions. So those are when you use them, there'll be 2d4 plus 2 healing if you use those healing potions, and I'll add those to your inventory, no problem. And the last thing that you find is an alchemy set, an alchemy kit. So
Boys, just like the kind we had back home.
yeah, it's a nice little bit of spoils for you because you rolled high on your investigation check. So you got some good shit.
You'll add that to my inventory for me?
Yeah, I can add that to I'll add the potions to your inventory. The rest, I can add the alchemy kit as well.
How do you do it yourself?
So in D&D Beyond,
is it under equipment?
Yeah, if you go
manage
to equipment, manage equipment.
Okay.
You should be able to go ahead. Yeah. If you type in healing in the filter there, you can add 2 of the potion of healings. The basic one.
Yeah.
So you can add 2 of those. This is good for teaching everybody. So if everyone wants to follow along, we could totally do this together. You're not going to all add this stuff, but you can see how to add stuff. So if you go to equipment on everyone's character sheets, click on the equipment tab. It's on that big right-hand box that says actions, spells, equipments, features and traits, description, yada, yada. Click on equipment and click on manage equipment. And in there, you can search for stuff. So Egrid's going to add 2 healing potions. So she's going to type in healing and add 2 potions of healing. So you've already done that, right?
Yeah.
Then if you type in... Let's see. If you type in... Oh, I guess they don't do. They don't have a scroll here. We'll do potion of invisibility. So if you type in invis, you'll see potion of invisibility. You can add that. So it's a potion you can drink. Does the same thing.
For the alchemy set, do I have to do it under custom?
There should be alchemist supplies. If you type in alchem or alchemist, if you type that in, you should see alchemist supplies. Go ahead and add that.
Okay.
And that should be it. That's what I said, right? Did I say anything else? It was the 2 healing potion, the alchemist supplies, and the potion of invisibility. Yeah. So nice spoils. And after this session, you guys are going to level up as well. So we're going to level you up to level 2 after today's session. So I like getting past level 1 during the first session. I always think that session 0 and session 1 should be spent at that level 1 area, but I like to move us up to level 2 and 3 pretty quickly. So we'll be to level 2 next. So we'll do that, and I'll help you guys over the next week. I'll help you with anything that you need help with, and we'll get that set up for next week. But for now, we'll just stay at level 1 until the end of the session. So with that, you guys got your spoils. You've gathered some onyx. We'll say anyone who wants to gather some onyx can have... consider it like 6 onyx gems is what you would call it, like 6 onyx gems, because you kind of got to break it up to be able to carry it. So we'll call it 6 onyx gems, rough onyx gems. So they're not, obviously you don't have jeweler's kits or anything to make them perfect for jewelry or anything. I mean, they're cracked and, you know, they're messy and they're not great, but you may be able to sell them for some money. So everyone can add 6 onyx gems to their inventory. That is not a thing that you can do in the equipment thing. You're going to have to add that in your notes. Add that in your
There's
notes.
onyx in the equipment.
Is there?
Yeah.
It just says onyx?
Just says onyx.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there is. Let's see. Onyx,
Where is
opaque
that?
gemstone, bands of black and white, pure black. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you guys can each add 6 of these to your inventory. That's a lot of gold pieces, but these are not. So I want you to remember, even though you have an onyx in your inventory, this is a rough onyx. It is not like what would be normally this. Like, it's worth 50 gold pieces normally, but the ones you have are probably worth 10 because they are not worked onyx. They are still in their, you know, pure form. So they are not going to be worth as much. They're not precious gems yet. So if you go to equipment, manage equipment,
Okay.
and then type in Onyx, ONYX, you'll see Onyx. You can add 6 of those. Does anyone need help with that? All good?
Done.
All
Is
right.
everyone adding 6?
Yeah, everyone can add
Yeah.
6 because there was, yeah.
Oh,
There was
okay,
enough
I
for that.
did it. Got it.
So just a reminder, the onyx that you have in your inventory is a little different than what it says it is in D&D Beyond. Okay, the one in D&D Beyond is a worked precious gem that you would find in like a ring or a necklace. This one is rough and unworked. All right. So Rossi, you also lost 2 more hit points from fire, but other than that, I think we're all caught up. You guys are here, finally all together, able to talk with one another and kind of get to know each other. Egrid just stumbled across this kind of interesting development on the cabin, so you guys can discuss that. Go for it. Run loose. This is kind of RP time, and you can tell me when you're ready to go back to the town, and we can roleplay that out.
We're finally all here. We're supposed to go to the fountain and meet with the man from our dream.
Does anybody know what this bloody ticking is?
Where is that?
Hello.
He holds up a watch. Some of you may know what a watch is, some of you may not. You can decide whether or not your character would.
It won't stop making noises.
Is
Anybody?
Nobody gonna respond to it?
Are you joking?
No,
You
his,
don't know what
his
that
character
is?
really doesn't know. Yeah.
Aw. It's a watch, Fergus.
You should probably save that little creature so then you can be on time to when we're supposed to meet.
And
Shit,
I-
dude.
I suppose some of you in this party could be more useful. Some of you, maybe not. You might miss your attacks and climb up a tree in fear. But some of you might prove useful.
Didn't you accomplish very little that entire time?
You don't know, I froze them. So they weren't able to attack you as quickly. You're welcome.
Listen. I
What
think
can
we
I
all
say
have. I think
except
we
you're
all hold value
welcome?
here. I don't think one person is better than the other. I mean, you know, like
Well,
some people are better in combat. Some people are better like out of combat. You know, you can't judge like that. I think Tyria is a little judgmental.
so is Leon.
Elves
So
are
how do I
terrible
read
creatures.
how do I read this thing? Anybody?
If anyone wants to have their character try and teach Fergus how to use a watch, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. Anyone who wants to try and teach Fergus here,
Absolutely.
roll me an intelligence check to see if you can explain it well enough to him.
I'm dumb as nails, but I'm gonna try.
You tried with a 7. Leon attempts, and Egrid steps in And Egrid kind
My
of gives it to you
dwarves
real
are
simple.
actually the dwarves of time.
Egrid
My
gives it to you real
ancestors
simple.
they held the time and they spin the clocks. Part of our heritage.
Reroll int.
It would be an intelligence check if you want to try and teach his character how to use a watch. So what's hilarious about this situation is Colin's character, Leon, and Crocus are both like, they're kind of like trying to explain like at the same time. And then Casey's character, Egrid, kind of comes up and she starts giving it to you real straight, Ross. Fergus is kind of starting to understand, but then Tyria, Trisha's character, steps in and she's also giving you good advice, but at the same time as Egrid. So now you're overwhelmed with information. You're like,
too many cooks.
Overstimulated.
Tyria, the elf is gonna tell you wrong. They don't have a sense of time.
Don't trust the dwarves.
Oh no.
They can't even see the sun.
They're all like 500 years old. They have no sense of time.
I'm a young elf. Thank you very much, you old ass
So
dwarf.
what does that make you? 200 years old?
Actually,
So I believe if you set the watch on your palm, you can use it as a sundial to tell the time. I believe that's how you use the watch.
There's little numbers on it, right? Fergus, do you know numbers?
I bet he
Count to
does.
3.
he can definitely count to 3. For sure. That is a fact.
1.
Okay, so we're like a quarter of the way there.
Hold it
Okay.
up to the moon. It will bless you with knowledge.
Can my character help too?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so Neffy just kind of walks up to Fergus, and from her finger there's like a little silvery web, and she touches the web onto the watch, and she touches it onto Fergus and says, "Pocket watch."
There you go. So now there's like a little thread hanging from it.
You'll never lose it.
There you go.
I think you need a
This is-
watch. You
this
just need to
thing's
see the
too-
rotation of the moon. You should
this thing's
melt
too
that watch and you
confusing.
might have some money.
Oh my god.
No, Fergus, if you ever want to know what time it is, you can just ask one of us and we'll tell you. You just got to show us that watch, okay?
Fantastic. I'm gonna do what Neffy said. I'm gonna put this in my pocket.
All right. So, with that said, you guys, you kind of have a discussion. You get to know each other a little bit more as you continue walking back towards the town. Is there any other conversations that anyone wants to have before you guys get back to the town? Please tell me if there is. Like, just go into it and have that role play before we get back into the kind of moving the story forward. Because I love watching the role play, and I'll have you roll whatever you need to roll to do it. So. Anyone else have any conversations? Go for it.
Yeah. So Neffy doesn't really say anything, but the whole time she kind of been gravitating towards Leon because he has more than 2 legs too. They're the only people in the party that have multiple legs, and she's still kind of sad about Tyria pointing out that she has too many legs.
It's all right. I've got weird legs too. I held up my little peg leg.
So where do you imagine your peg leg starts and your real leg ends and your peg leg starts? Do you think it's like at your knee or like more like
Probably
kind
like
of
right at my knee.
Okay. All right.
It'd be really hard to move if it was above, I'd imagine.
Oh, sure,
It's
sure.
just like a
I guess
steep
I was
hobble.
thinking I was thinking more like if it started lower, like you still have your knee, but
Yeah.
it starts like mid calf maybe, so that it's
Yeah,
more
like
like it's
right
more like
below
it's
the
your
knee.
foot. Unless
Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, it's. I'd imagine right below the knee.
Do you
like, I still
imagine that
got
your
that
character
joint.
hobbles, or
A little bit of an awkward gait to him.
okay? And is this something that your character? Do you think that he minds, or like is it something that
I think I'm just used to it at this point. Like I don't really care. It's a very functional thing. It's just kind of is what it is.
Okay, nice. So, with that, you guys head back into town and have any conversations you want on the way. And as you reach back into town, the town is it's starting to become like nightish time. It's like 6 or 7 o'clock. People are kind of leaving the main square area, going back indoors. It's getting a little cold. The sun's going down. And you guys arrive back at the fountain. And there at the fountain, standing, is the old man Romulus, kind of leaning on his staff. And as you guys walk into the opening of the square, you hear him say, "Well, took you guys long enough."
You were
kinda leaning
late.
on his
Maybe you
staff.
should borrow Fergus's watch.
You really are your mother's child. He kind of smiles at you in like a creepy way.
Ew.
So if you don't remember, I'll kind of quickly describe him again for everybody. Romulus is he's the historian of the gods. He's a famous character in the lore of this story, in the lore of this world. You know, kids get taught about him in textbooks and stuff like that. But you notice that there are no other civilians around, no other mortals around. So he's not somebody who comes out in the middle of the day to just talk with people. And, you know, he's definitely someone who keeps to himself. And nobody's heard from him in a long time since the gods were locked away. And he came to you in your dream. He is an older man. He looks like a human, but he has kind of a glowing aura about him. He's got a staff that's kind of in the shape of a lightning bolt, big burly white beard that comes down in ponytails, and kind of scraggly white hair that comes down over his head. Kind of got a Gandalf look to him. Very wrinkly and old. And he says, well, follow me, would you? And as he taps his staff on the ground, the fountain that's in the middle of this square kind of slides and scrapes across the stones to the side, leaving a spiral staircase that goes down underneath the fountain.
Whoa. The gods are upon us.
So we're really just supposed to walk in, huh?
So we're
Neffy
going to
just
follow
walks
this
in.
old human. He could be a scam artist. He keeps speaking of my mother. My mother has already been slain.
Suddenly, I'm
By
down with walking.
your
with them.
brethren, Pigrid.
I think
Oh,
I
your
trust in our
brethren.
Done is
abilities to
done.
defend ourselves
Hey,
if
well-
this is a trap.
And Neffy's like halfway down the stairs.
I'm with Shisha. She's been nice to me all day.
I'm going with Neffy.
Dom is as you're having this conversation, Fergus, as you look back at Dom to see like what his reaction is, he's like staring at you with his eyes like wide open, and he's kind of like mid walking forward. His foot's kind of still in the air. He looks like he's frozen in time.
You good? Damn.
Dom, are you right, pal?
He doesn't respond, but you hear Romulus say, "This is not really for his eyes."
I give Dom a wee slap, a wee tap on the cheek. Dom, wake up, Dom.
He's kind of staring as you're like slapping him on the face. No response.
Oh. Romulus, what have you done to Dom?
Don't worry, he's fine. He's fine. He's just he's kind of taking a standing nap.
Perhaps he's dead.
He's fine. He's not dead, I promise. Feel his pulse. And he kind of points towards Dom's wrist. You can feel his pulse.
He's dead.
I'm between a rock and a hard place. Are you sure he can't come down, Romulus?
Positive. This is for godly eyes only.
The chosen ones.
Sorry, godly ones?
Yes. You still don't believe me, do you?
I don't know what to believe anymore. Why are we here, old man?
He kind of looks at you and he says, Egrid, relax. I just want to show you, particularly what I need you to do. And I can't show you unless you follow my directions. You already followed all the way to Thebes, so what's stopping you from now?
Ooh.
You've left behind the church. Might
There's
as well keep
nothing
stepping
stopping
forward.
me.
All right. Fergus, he'll be safe here. Anyone who comes anywhere near the circle, the square that we're standing in, the fountain, will be frozen in time, temporarily.
You give me your word that Dom will be safe, and
I
I
give
will.
you my word.
Then I shall come down the stairs.
All right. As you're walking by him, Fergus, you notice he's like shaking a little bit, like he's trembling. The old man is trembling on his cane as he's kind of leaning on it, and it seems like he's giving off It seems like he's expending energy, and you're not sure. Like, you don't see him doing anything in particular, but it seems like he's expending energy just by standing there. And so you get the idea that he's in concentration casting a spell right now, and is expending a lot of his willpower to do so. So this is a pretty powerful spell that he's using at the moment to freeze Dom and this whole area kind of in time. So yeah, you kind of notice this as you walk by. So, you guys all head down the spiral staircase. There are torches that kind of light your way. It's marble staircase that kind of goes all the way down in spirals. You walk on it for maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. So it's a pretty long staircase. And at the base of it, it opens up into a large marble room with statues lining the edge of it. This circular marble room is probably 200 feet by 200 feet. It's huge. And you notice that there are no outlets for other rooms or hallways. It is just this kind of big circular room that's underneath the fountain. And seems like it's pretty well hidden because you've never heard anybody talk about it or heard anything about it before. As you look at the statues, those of you who are educated, so this means people who went to school, who thinks that their character, spent time in a school at some point, you would recognize that these statues that are lining the room are all the statues of the gods. And you can see them in the form that they liked to be in. They're like their preferred form. So some of these gods look like humanoids. Some of them look like, one of them looks like a giant snake. One of them looks like a bat creature. One of them looks like an owl, just like a small owl. So they are in all different shapes and sizes around the room, and they're all labeled with the names of the gods as well at the base of them. And they're all made of beautiful marble.
Gods. The statues are of the gods, the holy ones.
This would be news to anyone who's not educated. Anyone who's not educated, you'd be like, oh shit, okay, that makes sense. Like, this might be your moment where Egrid says, like, oh, these are the statues of the gods. You might be like, oh, okay, that's what they are. I have no clue what they were. So anyone who is not educated would just be getting that just now as she says that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at.
And I would imagine Fergus as well.
I'm gonna head over to my mother's statue and stare at it silently.
Okay. So as you walk up to Vivian's statue, she is holding her very well-known harp that she uses, and she is in her humanoid form. Humanoid just means that somebody walks on two legs, has like a human-esque body. Humanoid does not mean human, just means that they walk on two legs. So like a treant, for example, like made of bark and wood, would be considered humanoid. So she is an elf, is what I'm trying to say. She likes to show herself off as an elf. She has pointed ears, that harp that's very well known, and she's wearing a beautiful toga dress that kind of comes down, and she's got one leg that's sticking out of the dress. She's very beautiful. And as you're looking at her, it kind of just resonates with you, not in any special way other than, yeah, this might be my mom. Like, this seems familiar. Just a strange familiarness. Nothing magical or anything, just a strange familiarness. As Romulus is the last one to come down the steps because he's old and he was the last one to, follow, you hear the scraping of that fountain coming back into place above where you guys are. So you kind of hear it scraping and covering up the spiral staircase you just came down.
Are we trapped?
He says, in a sense, I guess. Nothing
I knew
dangerous.
it. My royal parents have always told me to be weary of scam artists who try to sell us life insurance.
He laughs, and specifically when you say my royal parents, he starts kind of like hysterically laughing, and he's like, your royal parents.
So are her parents not royal? Let's hear about them.
More than royal.
More royal than yours.
Her parents are more than royal.
You guys have parents?
Fergus.
What's so funny?
Fergus.
I'm an orphan. Why are you laughing? That's horrible.
Perhaps,
I
little
don't think-
creature, I can adopt you.
I would
As a
want
servant.
nothing less.
So, Romulus looks down at you, Fergus, and he says, you have parents, trust me there. And I know one of them. And the thing is, it wouldn't be very fun if I gave you all the answers, but I will tell you, you've got a sibling in this room. You share a parent, someone in this room.
What?
What?
Yes. You are all brothers and sisters, but you specifically share siblingship with one person in this room.
Must be another small
And
creature.
everyone's kind of like looking around at each other.
But
should've looked at this character
I've been
sheet.
alone. I've been alone in this world my entire life. Other than Dom, who's been my best friend for years. I've not got family.
He kind of smiles at you and he says, you have family. And I've always been known to lead towards answers but not give them. And this is me leading you towards the answer. You'll find out as soon as it comes to you, and it will come to you, I promise.
Does that mean I have a sibling in here as well? Family?
In a sense, you're all siblings, because all of the gods are brothers and sisters, but only two of you, Fergus and one other person, share a parent.
It's on the character sheet. Who is it?
So, it's not on Fergus's character sheet, and it won't be on Fergus's character sheet until he finds out. So, that said, the rest of you all have your parents' blessing on your character sheet. You can find that under your features and traits tab on your character sheet. It is the godly ability that is granted to you by your parents. And I want to focus right here. So let me tell you something really quick before you go looking at it, before you go reading the whole thing. Listen closely. Think closely about what your character already knows. So did your character before today in game, before meeting Romulus and going down into this cavern, did your character know about their godly ability? You can decide. You can decide whether or not they knew about this ability. And if they didn't, I wouldn't even look at it yet. It's in your character sheet.
I don't even know where it is.
It would be under features and
Oh,
traits.
I see.
And it would be blessing of, and then it will say your parent's name. So that said, if you don't think your character would know about this ability, no reason to even look at it right now. Just look at it when I give you the go ahead, like it would be like a good time for it. But for now, if you don't think that your character would know about it, then I wouldn't even look at it. If you think your character does know about it and is actively hiding it, or has known about it for a long time and is trying to master it already, then you can go ahead and look at that and read through it and ask me any questions you might have. I'm kind of saving them for the audience to come up at cool times, but if you want to show it off right now in the middle of this cavern, you totally could. If you want to say that you've done it before and you're going to do it again, whatever. It's totally up to you. So you can decide right now whether or not your character knows about their ability or not. And the only one who for sure doesn't is Fergus, which is why I didn't even put it on his sheet.
I don't know about godly abilities, but I know every time I'm enraged, I wake up with corpses all around me.
The older man, Romulus, nods his head. And he says, "This has happened to you a few times. You are..."
I'm just kind of sorry.
You're good. He says, "You are dangerous, Tyria.
You hear that, Pigrid? I'm dangerous.
But..."
I don't see you as a threat. Those are just all the men who told you no.
You probably can't see up that high.
I like it better down here.
But you do, closer to hell. Vile creature.
Damn. You guys want to keep going? Go for it. I don't care.
Good.
All right.
I hate to waste my breath on this cretin.
So Romulus
Whilst
says,
these two are bickering, I'm kind of like walking up to everyone and looking them like up and down and trying to like see if I can suss out any clues to find out who my sibling is. Just kind of walking around the room, just like up, down, like everywhere, investigating.
I mean,
All
hey,
right.
like I'm
So-
reptilian and you're reptilian.
maybe.
Let's
So go ahead and roll me a investigation check, Fergus, as you're looking around. See if you can spot any similarities that you might have with anybody in the party. Investigation check. With a 6, you're not going to get much. Nothing much to see. You're very confused. You're unsure, but it gives you a twinge of excitement to know that somebody in this room is really like your actual brother or sister. Just a twinge of excitement. It also might piss you off that Romulus isn't telling you the truth. I'm not sure what your character feels. He's not telling you like who your parent is just outright, not just saying it. But Romulus says, well, I would like to show you to each of your parents, show you what they looked like and tell you a bit about them, if I may. Except for you, Fergus. You'll have to find out on your own.
Can't catch me.
Old man, what do you have against me?
He kind of laughs. It's fun. And I think it'll be more meaningful if I don't just give you the answer.
I just kind of grumble under my breath.
So, he walks up to Shisa, who's already standing and kind of staring at her mom's statue. You hear his cane tip-tapping off the marble as he comes up behind you, Shisa. And then he stands next to you, shoulder to shoulder with you, and looking up at your mom's statue. You all watch this. You're all kind of watching it from behind as he is standing next to Shisa, who's, again, looking up at this big marble statue, and he says, Vivian, goddess of poetry and music, have you found yourself enamored with those things?
I've always been in love with music, and I've always been singing and playing music since I was a little girl, but I've noticed that sometimes something strange happens. And, I couldn't tie it back to every time. Like, it could have just been a coincidence, but it's like whenever I play, it's like people are infatuated by me, and yet sometimes disastrous things happen, and I have no control over it.
It's because you're a child. You're a child. And there's no shame in losing control of your powers. You just need to be careful. But it happens.
Powers?
Yes.
I thought I was just good at music.
You are. You are good at music. But you're more than good. Sometimes when you play, your godlike energy comes out. The blood that flows through you from your mother. It lights up and lets out an aura of magic from you. And sometimes that magic causes crazy things to happen. It's not meant for this world. It's not meant for mortals. And you being half mortal makes it hard to control it sometimes. So, while I can't tell you how to control it, I can tell you that you will be able to someday. You will. But for now, it is a very powerful ability to be able to convince others and play beautiful music. The things that you can do are powerful, powerful abilities. He kind of pats you on the back. He's an old man. He's like a grandpa. He's like, you will learn. You will. And if you have questions, I'll answer them to the best I can.
Thank you. I think, it kind of saddens me that I'm almost scared in a way to use my abilities, but I think the more that I use them and the more aware I become of my mother and what exactly she did and stood for, I think I'll be able to get my footing in a good amount of time.
Absolutely. I think you will as well. I believe in that. you are your mother's daughter, and she is very well put together. She is very organized. Your mom was one of the people who organized a lot of what the gods did. All of the parties, all of the exciting endeavors that they went on. She was always the person who inspired everybody. She was the person who gave them all hope.
I got it from my mama. What can I say?
He kind of laughs. He turns to Crocus, who's standing kind of behind and kind of looking onward. And what do you think Crocus would be doing in this kind of while they're talking? Do you think she would be paying attention to what he's saying, or do you think she would be looking around for something else?
And she's most certainly looking around. She's looking for Moira, who's supposedly her mother.
Okay. So you do find Moira, who is, her statue is herself, which is, she's kind of a humanoid. So it's hard to tell what race she would kind of go with. You would guess either human or half-elf, something like that. She doesn't seem to have pointy ears, but she also doesn't seem like she's quite human because she has these kind of perfect features and curvatures to her face. She looks like she's almost, and this is kind of strange to say because she's a statue, but she looks like she's actually made of stone. The creature that you're looking at, that she takes the form of, looks like it was made of stone, and this is a statue of that creature that's made of stone. So she is like a stone golem herself, almost. She carries around a large jug of water that's made by marble here in this statue as well, and it's pouring out a basically a big glug of water in a waterfall kind of pattern in the statue, and she's pouring it onto a plant of some kind. It looks like a small budling. And that's what the statue is of. And she is smiling with like this gentle motherly smile as she's doing it. And it's a calming statue to look at. And as, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Crocus kind of tears up at this sight. Doesn't really say anything.
As you're looking at it, Romulus says, "Have you ever noticed anything strange about yourself, Crocus?" He says from kind of across the room.
I'm not really sure what I would even be looking for here.
Like, when you walk, there are small little slivers of grass and small flowers that grow beneath your feet once in a while. Not always, but once in a while. And this is something that you do remember. It's not something that you see very often. You saw it a lot when you were a kid, a lot in your youth when you were happy, and just any time that you have positive emotions, you find yourself able to kind of have that green thumb where you're able to grow things around you very well and easy. He says, "Have you ever noticed that plants have an affirmation towards you? They grow under your care, and when you walk in a room, they brighten up." And this is something you've also noticed. It's subtle, something you've never really taken much mind to. It's like, oh, I mean, it just seems like
they're plants.
Yeah, they're plants. But now that he's saying all this, it's kind of ringing a bell a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of just nods, like, yeah.
And he also nods back, and he says, "You have a very powerful ability to grow and nurture. And it is a bit wild. You're a child as well. Sometimes it may create something that you don't want. Plants can be fickle things, whether they're poisonous or fruitful or just beautiful. Plants are fickle and they require care, and you've always done a great job with caring and growing plants and taking care of them. Your mother was the goddess of the harvest, and that is what she's known for, is nurturing. If you'd like me to tell you more about your abilities, I can, or you can find them out yourself."
I think I need to figure this out for myself, but thank you.
He nods. He goes through and he kind of looks at everybody and he says, "Would anyone like to know anything in particular about their parent? Does anyone not know who their parent is?"
I want to know who my parents are.
Sorry.
He kind of looks over to Fergus. And he just laughs. And then he looks back to Tyrion.
Well, you've mentioned a couple times laughing when I brought up my royal mother, rest in peace. Is my mother not my mother? My father not my father? What's going on?
Your father kept much from you before he died. Your mother, the one that you call mother, had no knowledge of what I'm about to tell you.
So my royal father is a cheating bastard?
He laughs. He says, no. Your father and Raka, the goddess of war and fury, had a bright flame of a relationship. And they loved each other very
Raka?
much.
Goddess of war? But I'm but a peaceful royal high moon elf.
He laughs again, just like that. Yes, well, you do have a temper, don't you? You've always noticed.
Only when I see Pigrid.
He laughs. He says, she isn't the one that killed your parents. She has no knowledge of it, as far as I'm aware.
But her brethren,
But what's done is
her
done.
people, she
The
has
gods-
no
the
remorse.
gods will
Look
it.
at Pigrid's smug face. You just have to look down
Will it, I
close
have
enough.
control over it. Thoughts and priors. I'll send my thoughts and priors.
No remorse. Disgusting.
So he says, your mother was one of the first that they locked away. One of the most powerful of the gods.
Why would they lock her away?
Well, they wanted all the gods locked away. And this is like an important moment for everyone to kind of learn a little bit about the lore of the world. So if you want to know any stuff or remember any of this stuff, it's all... I'm not going to go too deep into it because he wouldn't be keeping you here to tell you all of the lore of the entire world. But he would tell you the basics, which is, he would say this. He says, long ago, just under 100 years ago, all of the gods were locked away within relics, the relics that they held on to in their lives. And they were locked away by... He kind of looks up towards like the spiral staircase and he says, the people of the world. They no longer wanted to be controlled by the gods. They no longer wanted to be intimidated by the gods. And if you haven't realized yet, those gods, they get their power from the people. The more that the people love them, the more people that worship them, the more power they have. And as power fades and faith fades, they became weaker and weaker to the point where they were able to be overcome by the mortals of this world, outnumbering them by the billions. So they were locked away. Not killed because, well, they're immortal, but locked away. Virtually powerless. But their blood runs through your veins. Small pieces of what they could do are inside your bodies. For example, Leon. Ever noticed that you can breathe underwater?
I've always been the best in the fleet, and I realized a long time ago, by happenstance, on one of our raids. Yes.
By accident, right?
Completely by accident.
Yes. That was lucky. And I remember it. And so you're able to breathe underwater. This is an ability that not many minotaurs would have, is it? Kind of smiles. He says, not many people would have. Some races can breathe underwater, but definitely not yours. And so, a small but useful little tool passed down from your parent. He kind of points over to the large snake-like statue. It says Lytropius under it, which is the god of the sea. And he points to it, and he says, you have much to learn, and your power is just growing. But in time, you'll find out all the things that you can do because of your blood. He glances at Fergus, and then he glances over to Egrid. He says, Egrid, your weapons have always been powerful, imbued with strength.
I agree with you.
Yes. And your father, and he points over to the statue of Brash, the god of the forge, who is in the shape of a large loxodon. A loxodon is an elephant person. So he is very large and burly, has a trunk like an elephant, but is standing on two legs like a human. And he's got a forge that he's bringing an anvil down on.
My dad is the best dad of all of the dads. I've got the best god.
I guess he really abandoned you then, because he
best
certainly
daddy.
didn't forget about you, since elephants never forget.
He's the coolest.
Well, I'm sure if I knew who my dad was, he'd be cooler than yours.
Oh, I froze.
It's
okay.
My royal father was wonderful.
I bet my dad could beat up your dad.
Oh, no.
My dad was shit on your dad.
As you're having this conversation, he looks over to Neffy, and he says, you have retreated into your own little shell over the years. And it makes sense. You ever have that feeling that you're being watched? Looks over at Neffy. Feeling that there are creatures around you that just staring at you, longing for help?
She kind of caves even more in on herself and whispers, always watching. She looks very troubled.
So 1 second. All right. So, he says, do you know who your parent is?
She looks over to her left and has found that she's been drawn over to the marble statue of Murabi.
Yes. So Murabi is kind of a hunched over humanoid with a large cowl that comes over their head, so you can't see any of their facial features. Carved into stone, you have no idea of the nose or eyes or mouth of this creature. It's just a kind of a black hood. And across their shoulder and kind of over their chest area is a band of masks. Like, they look like those drama masks that you see, like the happy and sad masks. They kind of look like that. And they're kind of draped over Murabi's shoulders. And in each hand, one hand is holding a bone, the other hand is holding a lantern. And it's kind of hunched over and kind of looking almost down at you as you're looking at it. And Romulus says, the god of death and the cycle of life. Spirits are the ones calling out to you. They want your help because your power can help them. And he looks around to the rest of you guys and he says, you're going to need your parents' help. Now, I need to ask, why do you all look so flustered? You look like you've seen some kind of monster. And your clothes are all singed. And he kind of walks up to Leon and wipes some of the soot off of Leon's shoulder.
Little Fergus here brought us into a trap. Because
Listen,
he can't
pal,
see.
I was just making my way to Thebes and I ran into these mythical creatures. I was there with my buddy Dom, who you've given me your word that you're going to be protecting. And we had to run away and I had a big gash in my arm. Thankfully, Neffy came up and touched me with her webs and sorted me out. But we went back into the forest and bumped into 6 hellhound-looking creatures.
Ah, I see. Well, that means we don't have much time to get you all rolling. It seems like they found you. So,
Who's they?
Who?
he kind of looks up at you guys. He's got a worried look on his face now. Normally, he looks kind of like jovial and, Santa Claus-esque in terms of like his mannerisms. Seems kind of happy most of the time, but he's got kind of a worried look on his face, furrowed brows. He says, Gormak, the God Slayer, is coming for you. I couldn't
Why is
hear
he
what you
coming
said,
for us?
Ingrid.
He has an ugly name.
Your mic cut out. Casey, what'd you say?
I said it can't be.
He looks kind of worried around at everybody, and he says, if those creatures are what I think they are, they were probably scouts. And seems like caught Fergus before he was able to make the city. I'm glad you all went and saved him. It seems as though you have a draw towards one another. He kind of taps his staff on the ground, and you all feel this pinging in your head like you did before to find your way to Thebes. You now have that pinging in your head that lets you know what direction you all are from each other. So you can kind of sense where each other are in terms of direction. Not like how far you are from them, but the direction in which you guys are from each other. So, Moonsy, your character Crocus is standing next to, like standing in front of Fergus, who's kind of facing away from you. But you can feel that Fergus is behind you. You just got a sense that Fergus is right behind you. And you can kind of get that idea. So you guys all have this almost ping in your head of where each other are. You can't communicate with each other, but you know-ish what direction each other is in, which is a kind of nice little ability. And he says, I guess that's perks of being somewhat related. And it will be useful for you. Your first task is as such, and we don't have much time. Again, he looks up at the spiral staircase. He says, we need to get you out of Thebes as soon as possible and on this mission. So you need to find your parents' relics. I know where some of them are, but not all of them. So I'll help you find the first ones, and the rest you'll have to figure out on your own. But if we can find your parents' relics, they will unleash your powers in ways that Gormak will not be able to stop. But if he finds you and kills you, this will all be for naught. You need to stick together. You need to watch each other's backs. Because if he finds you and kills you, this world is lost. He is too powerful. Only the gods can stop him, and you're the last gods left. And he stamps his staff on the ground. He says, 7 half gods makes, and he kind of counts on his hand, 3.5. So 3.5 gods should be able to do it. But you guys are going to need to master your powers and get to know each other and have each other's backs. And I don't have much time left. So, I'm going to lead you on this path.
Where is the tunnel taking us?
The first spot, and he points his staff towards Moira, the goddess of the harvest. He points his staff towards her, and her statue kind of turns toward everybody. As he points his staff towards it, it makes a scraping noise as the marble turns. And he says, Moira is trapped within a seed only a few hundred miles from here. But the problem is, this seed is lost in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of crops. You'll need to search for it and find it. And in that time, there may be creatures that are guarding it. Gormak is not a fool. He will have creatures waiting at every opportunity to ambush you. And a cornfield is not a great place to start a fight. So, your task will be to uncover this seed, find it, and Crocus, unlock your potential. She will guide you once you find that seed. She will help you in ways that I can't. In ways only a mother can. I know you've always wanted to find your parents. All of you. And if you didn't know, now you know. Your first task is to find Moira. After that, I'll guide you on to the next piece of the puzzle. I only know where 3 of your parents are. And this is the first one. Without getting into too many details, without overwhelming you, you need to go find that seed. Do we have an understanding?
Yes.
Let's go find your mummy, Crocus.
Thanks, Egrid.
It will be dangerous. And if Gormok comes for you, you need to, and he looks very sternly at everyone, run. And that's where we're going to end the session for today. So, he's given you the quest. That's your first quest. Okay? There will be spoils. You all will level up at the end of this session, and we're gonna have some dope shit happen. So